Welcome to Tell Me How Good It Got. Stories of women who defied the rules and ditched the script for what life's supposed to look and came out healthier, happier, hotter, and more themselves. I'm your host, Majo Torelli, and today I'm so happy to introduce Tammy Waldron. Tammy is the founder of Towanda Wellbeing and the Rise Intuitive Healing Arts Center, where she guides therapists and healers to access the emotional, energetic, and intuitive root causes beneath surface symptoms so they can guide lasting transformation from the inside out. Tammy teaches trauma-informed, spirit-led tools like theta healing, silent counseling, and the gene keys to help practitioners awaken their intuition, trust their gifts, and return to the wisdom of the body and their true self. Tammy's work bridges science, presence, and soul, empowering professionals to unburden inherited patterns, embody their voice, and lead with an integrated resilience. Welcome, Tammy.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, and I'm so excited to have you. I actually have a lot of questions,
Okay, let's
but
go.
let's just start with the first one, which is what does Towanda mean?
So I teach people to be intuitive and I lean into my intuition a lot. So as I was launching this business, I got quiet and listened and asked, what's the name of this business? I believe that we partner with spirit to bring our passions and our purpose into the life, into the world. And so I wanted to really touch into who I was partnering with, what I was partnering with, and got quiet. And I heard this name come through, and sat with it for a minute and kept asking, this is it? And it was like, yes, this is it. This is it. And so then I dug into some research. So Tawanda, I know, comes from the movie Fried Green Tomatoes. Have you ever seen that movie?
No, I haven't.
Super cool movie from the 90s. It's all about women finding themselves, being empowered. It would flash between old and new, like present moment, old. And there was an older character that was a young woman who was feisty and stood up for herself. And anytime they did something empowering and embodied her spirit, they would raise their hands and say, Tawanda! And I was like, okay, that's perfect because I'm here to help people and be empowered to be their true selves. But then I dove into Google and asked, what is there another meaning for this, because it sounds Native American. And yeah, there's a lot of usages of the name Tawanda. It can be a burial place. It can represent water. And for me, water represents being, healing, calm, peaceful. I help people uncover who they are and who they're not. So we're burying, in some ways, our ancestral trauma. We're processing it and releasing it. So we're putting an end to that. And it just all comes together so beautifully in all the work I do. So the short version is that I help people find inner peace and tap into who they really are so they can be empowered to shine their full light into the world. To me, that's what Tawanda is.
Oh wow, I really felt that. And I love that little moment of Towanda. That's really contagious energy. Thank you for that, Tammy. And why healers and other practitioners?
So when you start a business, they ask you, like, who's your favorite client? Who do you love to work with? And as I looked back, I was naturally getting therapists coming to me. And if I were to start over my life again, I probably would go into psychology because I'm fascinated by how our brain works. And I'm really touched by those clients that come in because they're doing so much work to help people, but they feel stuck. And so what I do can help them expand their toolkit to self-care because they're burning out, leaving practice, and the world needs them. So these tools help them get to the root cause of reoccurring client patterns to help them fulfill their calling, because they're called and they're just feeling like I'm not doing what I'm here to do, and they're like missing that piece of really like going deep with their clients, and they're longing for that. So I can answer that for them.
Oh wow, that's really powerful because indirectly you're working with a lot of people. by
Mhm.
working with a
Yeah.
practitioner or with a coach because you're touching so many lives. That's really beautiful, Tammy. And how was your own journey? Like, how did you get to this point, and who were you before?
My gosh, I was just meeting with my coach before this, and I said, "Do you remember? I've been having these flashbacks and memories. Do you remember the first time we met a couple of years ago, who we both
Mhm.
were in that moment?" It's just, wow, so incredible when you lean into professional development, how much you can expand and grow and how quickly when you're with the right
Yeah.
people. Um, but my journey actually starts in the womb. I was adopted and at the age of 5 days. So my first trauma came when my biological mother knew she was pregnant and could not have a child. She was 15. She got sent
Mm.
to a home for unwed mothers. She didn't want to look at me. She didn't want to touch me. And I went straight from the womb into a bassinet into the nursery for 5 days before we really understood attachment and bonding and attachment disorders. So that shaped me, shaped my nervous system. I was like stuck in fight, flight, freeze my whole life until I started to get into deep healing work, but I didn't know because it's so normalized.
Yeah.
All these repeat patterns of self-sabotage, people pleasing, bad relationships, just pouring myself into others, hoping that they could fix me, which doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way at all.
Yeah. Never.
Yeah. But I kept searching. I knew there was something. I knew there was an answer because I was also very spiritual. So I would hear these whispers, there's more for you, keep looking. And I looked and looked. Meditation, affirmations, talk therapy, exercise, religion, self help books, all were
And you
helpful,
looked and
right?
looked.
I
Yeah.
looked and looked. So, seeker, I'm definitely a seeker. Then I found energy healing and I was
Uh,
like, this is it. This is what I've been looking for because it finally touched, helped me understand. I didn't even know what it was. So, it unpacked it for me, touched it, began to heal it. And in that first class, I said, this is what I've been looking for. And I'm going to teach this to others. And now I do that.
and in that journey of seeking, which I so identify myself as well as another seeker, was there something you had to let die that Tommy you used to
Yeah.
carry or that you used to be in the world that you're just not anymore?
Aspects of it. It really things get really tangled up like a vine. Like our own selves, I call it our true selves, get tangled up with all these other things and they can get distorted. So there's aspects of it that can be true, but then aspects of it that aren't serving our highest and best. So the thing that's popping in my mind right now is the helper. So I'm an
Mm.
Enneagram 2. I'm a helper, healer. I teach people like that. I love to help people, but it can also be codependency, helping people so that I can find my own value and worth, self sacrificing, being a martyr, going out and just really laying myself on the line to help other people. All of that needed to be teased apart, seen, understood, healed, so that I could fully embody the parts of it that are true to me, my truth, and what's not true for me.
I really get this image of like, because that really hit me of like myself and all the entangled other selves that I've picked up along the way or constructed along the way.
Yeah.
And how do you do that? Like, what's your
Mhm.
favorite? I mean, you probably have a vast toolkit,
Yeah.
but if a woman is listening to this and has no clue how to
Mhm.
even start that untangling, what would you tell her?
The first thing to do is just start to turn in and get to know all the voices that are going on in your head and change your perspective on that. Because there's a lot of information in the world that demonizes our ego, and it's
Yeah.
actually not here to hurt us. It's here to protect us and keep us safe. And it's protecting us from all of our wounds. It doesn't want us to feel those things again. And so then, you know, it's not always helpful, but it's trying to be. And so reframing, turning in with curiosity. Why am I feeling this way? Why am I thinking those thoughts? Where are they coming from? Is a really good start. And just embodying, feel your feelings, allow them. Because just like the voices in your head, the feelings are here to teach us something too. They show us our work. When we get triggered, it's not the other person's fault. It's
Yeah.
showing us what's inside of us that's ready to be seen, heard, understood, and felt. So just spend time doing that is a good daily practice. And also reach out to support because we're not meant to do this work alone. I
No.
can't do it alone. I can't see my deepest things because I'm so protected from seeing them, but other people can see them clearly. And when you go in with energy healing and really powerful tools, it's so like efficient and effective. It's like we don't have to live this way forever. It
Uh,
can change.
that's so true. We need the community. We need the other nervous systems reflecting back to us. We
Mm,
even need, I say, trees and nature, everything reflecting back to you, your aliveness. That's so true. I really
yeah.
love what you say about the trigger not being, I almost see it as its own entity. Like,
Mhm,
it's really not the other person. It's really not even you, but just
mhm.
something in you to sit with.
Yeah, to show you, it's a guide, it's a teacher. Hey, there's
Exactly.
something here for you to learn. And I love that you use the word mirror. I saw that. The more you do this work, the more you can see that. And when you can see it, then everything isn't so personal.
Yeah.
If we can have a little
Yeah.
bit of space, give ourselves some grace, like and comfort and kindness to ourselves. I was struggling with something and I went to a women's retreat and every single person said something that related to me and they were saying it in this light-hearted way. Like it's normal, but this is what you should expect. And I was like, here's this grain or pebble in my shoe that is like driving me crazy and I'm
Mm.
making a huge mountain out of it. And they just immediately was like,
Depuffed it. Yeah.
yeah, gave me perspective, normalized it, helped me to see it more clearly. And that happened in the first circle. I just started bawling and I just had this huge release of all these beautiful women, strangers I don't even know, mirroring back for me and holding space for me to release. It was so beautiful.
Oh, wow. That sounds so cathartic. Even I can feel it. And yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, sometimes I was having keeping the perspectives a way smaller experience this morning of just reaching out to people with something I'm working on and just,
Mm,
people are there mostly to support you. And like, we tend
yeah.
to forget that and hearing everyone's positive responses. And it was like, wow, we really make this, like, we drown in a glass of water, I say in Spanish,
And yes, yes.
and we lose perspective. And I love what you say about just creating that space between you and whatever it is happening there.
Yeah. And the other people can see things more clearly. When we're in the water, we don't see the water.
Yeah, like a fish.
We can't because we're in it, that's on purpose. I think we're designed that way. If we could solve all our own problems, we would live in isolation, but we're here to learn, to lean on each other, to trust one another, to collaborate. When we have that, we can synergize and create things neither one of us could create on our own. It's part of our learning process here.
I love that what you just said. It's on purpose because we feel like life is out to get us. And I
Yeah.
think it's actually, maybe it can feel that way, but it does want to crack you open, but in the best way
Mhm.
possible.
Yeah.
And that brings me to my next question, which is when did you feel things started getting good for you?
Well, my ground zero moment, which was a cracking open moment for me, also felt like a big shift of things are starting to get good for me. It was after my divorce. I was all alone in a new city, in a new place. My daughter was away with family, and I had never been alone. I was terrified to be alone. And that was the first time I turned in, which took a lot of courage to be like,
Yeah.
okay, what is my contribution to what has been going on in my life? And no one else is going to come and save me. No one's coming for you, Tammy, to save you,
Yeah.
but I'm coming to save myself, right? It was huge. And I turned in and I was so fearful of what I had been running from, and it immediately softened. I had this flood of self forgiveness, self love that I had never felt before. And after that, I just shifted my perspective and I started to just get curious of what was going on outside and internally. And it was really, really incredible. And then I found Eckhart Tolle's work, which is beautiful work. And then soon after, I found energy healing.
It gave me
A hu-
shivers when you were describing that. the bit about no one is coming to save you and like looking
Mhm.
within. It takes so much courage to do that.
Yeah.
I still repeat to myself sometimes, like there's no Prince Charming out there, no magic solution, no magic bullet for your business. It's really you are the magic bullet. And that takes some internalizing.
Yeah, some accountability,
Oof.
acceptance,
Yeah. Yeah.
and self-grace, self-forgiveness, compassion. I mean, so many things. And I love Disney, and also, like, Disney really set us up for failure.
Yeah.
There is no Prince
Totally.
Charming. There is no Prince Charming coming, except for us. Like, we actually all the things we're asking for. I was working with this one client. She was on this journey to find her soulmate, and one thing came through so clearly, and it is just stuck with me forever. You are your soulmate. Like, I am Tammy's soulmate. And
Yeah.
and how do I build a relationship with myself that is everything that I want in another partner I can give to me? And when I'm doing that, my outside relationships are going to mirror that back to me, and
Oof.
it's going to be beautiful.
I love that. It's like, just how do I become the most home I can be for myself
Yes.
ever?
Yeah. Yeah. And we don't
And
do
it,
that.
yeah. Oh, we're so far from it. I
Mm,
really love how you phrase that. And it does seem like it started to get good in a way that you
mhm.
started following these like little nudges and little whispers.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get into like the flow of it, right? What's your go-to, your favorite way of being in that
Mm.
flow and remaining there? How do you listen to your
Mm.
intuition, and what is intuition to you?
Yeah, good question. So I just have that observer spot. I can pull back and observe. And so that is my vantage point from my soul. And so I'm coming back to that. Like, I can be in both. I can be operating and then I can observe. Sometimes, though, I do get triggered and totally taken offline. But then I'll be like, whoa, where am I? And then I'll bring it back. So it's a center place for me. Um, that's grounded and confident and non-judgmental, that's just curious, that's just an observer. And so it's an actual place I go to do that. And then I have my energy healing techniques that I fall on for sure that helps me to clear that path. And it is practice. We all have intuition. We just lost our practice in it. And so I teach people to come back to that. And part of it is the entanglement of
Yeah.
all of our traumas, all of our belief systems that actually are not ours. We identify them and release them. We identify and heal and process. And the more you release that, the more your spirit and soul and true self can expand. It just gets so confined. And sometimes people's lives are so traumatic, it's not present. It's really hidden.
Yeah, I hear a lot this from women that maybe I don't have intuition, or maybe, it's like something that's almost reserved for a special few enlightened people in the world, or
Mhm.
you have to do like something very special to access
Mhm.
it. And yeah, I think it's really on point where you're saying that we all have it.
Yeah.
It's just entangled.
Yes. And we're not been given permission. Let's just be clear. We're not
Hmm.
allowed or given permission. And if you believe in past lives and you are a healer, it was not safe for
Yeah.
us to do that in the past. And so there's a lot of fear and unpacking to happen to reconnect with her. But she's there, she's waiting. And I think that's our journey. I think we're here for a reason. And part of that is to heal ancestral wounds, to heal past life wounds, so that we can really shine our full light in the world. And when we are all doing that, that's a new earth. We're all operating in
Yeah,
our highest and best. Yeah.
absolutely. And I
Yeah.
feel this is especially and particularly true for women.
Yes.
This transgenerational lineage healing. I feel it's very,
Mhm.
and I mean, that's the reason we're seeing so many women, right, stepping both
Mhm.
into coaching and also as clients, healers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause we have capacity. Women have
right.
capacity, and we have the feminine power to do that work. Women are incredible.
Oh, we are.
Incredible.
Yes, absolutely. And wow, I love that. With that, I want to say, what's something that feels even more incredible now for you, Tammy? Because I
Mm.
mean, I see this incredible, amazing woman sitting in front of me, and I wonder what's something that feels healthier, happier, hotter than before through this journey.
Yeah. I mean, thinking back, what was like my realm of what was possible was so small.
Mm.
And now it's so much bigger of what's possible. It's really infinite what we can accomplish. And when you do lean into work and you reconnect to that part of you that's infinite, it's just endless of what we can do. And that is so incredible to stand in that energy of sovereignty. That's
Yeah.
hard to describe, but it just goes on and on and on.
It is. It is very much hard to describe because it's a felt sense, right? It's a felt
Yeah.
sense in yourself and in your connection with life. I wonder if there's something you could, maybe a technique, a tool, or something you could share with us now,
Mm,
just from your toolkit of
mhm.
energy healing
Yeah.
that would be valuable to someone listening.
Yeah, muscle testing to me is so powerful. And I teach it a little different. Muscle testing is getting into the wisdom of your body. It
Mm.
is not connecting you to universal knowledge or your higher self. That takes your intuition to do that, but you can first just tap into your body so you can get yes and no's on what food to eat, what supplements to take. But you have to be careful about what you ask it, because if you're asking it to make decisions or have opinions, it's actually connecting to your subconscious also. So it can connect to your fears, to your limiting beliefs. If you were to ask it, is it in my highest and best to do this thing? It might say no because you're tapping into your fear.
Mm.
But your body is so powerful, it'll let you know where things are stuck. So one of the techniques I teach is silent counseling, and we use muscle testing to identify where our feelings are trapped in our body, and we use touch and breath to release it. So the first thing is to get your yeses and nos. The energy moves in a direction. There's a positive way for energy to flow, and then there's a reversal, or it can just be stagnant and stuck. And when it's stuck or in reversal, we're in self-sabotage, negative thought patterns, healing gets rejected, things might feel chaotic. And so it's important that your yeses and nos are flowing in a particular way. I like to have people do the sway test. Do you do muscle testing?
I don't, and I'm fascinated by
Okay,
what I'm
perfect.
hearing. Tell me
Perfect.
more.
So there are ways, like not everyone has the capability of standing, but it is the easiest way. So if you have an audience member that can't stand, they can absolutely circle back and have a discovery call with me, and I'll show them an alternative way. But standing is the most powerful. So do you have the ability to just stand right now?
I will, yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'm standing. Let me see if I can.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
And
here we
turn
go.
sideways.
Like facing this way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Some people say you have to face north. I haven't found that to be absolutely true. And then closing your eyes helps you get out of your mind and into your body. And then
Mhm.
out loud, say the word yes.
Yes.
And now say the word no. Do you see how your body's moving?
Yeah.
You're moving forward for a yes, and you're moving backwards for a no.
It's
That is accurate and true. So now out
Ah,
loud, say,
uh-huh.
my name is Tammy.
So I say my name.
You say your name. Say this. Say my name is Tammy and see what your body does.
Okay. My name is Tammy.
No, your name is not Tammy. Now say your own name.
My name is Majo.
Isn't that fun? Yeah.
I feel it. I mean,
You
it's
can feel
I
it.
don't know how visible it is, but I definitely
It's
feel
very
it.
visible. I can see it. Yeah, it's very
Oh,
visible.
wow.
Yeah. So you can ask yourself yes and no questions that can
Hmm.
help you get to understand what's held in your body, what's stuck in your body, what your body needs. Every day you could be living with this tool to help you in what to eat, what to drink. It's really
I mean,
powerful.
that is incredible. I am a somatic coach, and I think I've never practiced this little tool myself, and I will now incorporate it. So thank you
Yeah.
for that. I really
Yeah,
like
you're
that.
welcome.
And you
Yeah.
totally feel it. I mean, and when you mentioned supplements, I was diagnosed with PCOS like a while ago. And, doctors were always like, oh, you're going to have this forever. You cannot heal this and whatnot.
Yeah.
And when I started somatics, I had this nudge like at the beginning of this year to quit the pill. And I did. And I quit the pill. And I was like, you know what? I won't even consult doctors because I know they've been telling me the same thing for over 10 years. I know it by heart. And I just literally started. I mean, I did my research, my thorough research, and I started taking supplements. And I take supplements in a way that feels intuitive almost,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And now I can say my fertility is up the roof. My skin is glowing, and it's just like my body led me to this point. So in everything you're describing, yeah, for sure. I mean, 100%, I'm a testament to it.
Yes. Yes. I love that. Do we have time for one more tool?
Yes, yes, we do.
Okay, so breathing and
Okay.
touching our meridian system. So we have this really powerful multi-stepped breath that we're tapping into our collarbones on. Our collarbone is our kidney meridian. It holds all of our primal fear, fight, flight, freeze, which we get really stuck in, and also can tap into all the fears from our ancestors that are still stuck in our bodies, past lives. And so it's super powerful. If your audience members are opposite in their sway, it means they're in reverse. This can help you bring you back into the positive flow. So, doing this over and over gets your energy flowing in the right way, releases things that are ready to go, and then also solidifies and strengthens your energy flow in your body. So, it takes a little bit of time because I'm going to explain it, but once you understand it, it doesn't need to take that long. But what's really
Okay.
important is to keep your mind focused on an intention. So, whatever is important for you right now, you can focus on that, like feeling stressed or overwhelmed or scattered or having some sort of something. Just keep your focus on that so that your body knows exactly what it's being asked to do. And we close our eyes again to soften, if possible, soften your mind and get into your body, which you're totally aware of. And then you'll have to look here and there because I'm going to show you what to do. So we start with our right hand, our two fingers
Uh-huh.
on our right hand, and we put it on our right collarbone where you actually feel a nodule on your bone. And then the other
Okay.
thing too is we take our other hand and hold this part of our hand. This is our healing spot. It's our stress spot, our thyroid meridian.
Mm,
So we are
okay.
holding multiple spots, and then we put our fingertips to our bone, and then we're going to take a multi-stepped breath. So we close our eyes and we breathe in through our nose all the way up to the top and hold it, out halfway out the mouth and hold, and then all the way out, hold. So in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then we're going to move our fingers. So we're going to move our fingers now to the left side and repeat the breath. In all the way through the nose, out through the mouth, halfway, all the way out. In halfway and out, which I think I might have forgot the in halfway, but that's okay. Now we're going to change to our knuckles, not our fingertips. So the tips of our knuckles touch our
Mhm.
collarbone. This is um, expanding how many meridians we're tapping into, still holding the spot, and we repeat the breath in all the way, out halfway, all the way out, in halfway, and out. Now we move from the right bone to the left, right hand on the left side, repeat the breath in all the way, out halfway, all the way, in halfway, and out. Now we're going to switch hands. Left fingertips holding on to the back of the left hand, left on left. Closing our eyes, breathing in all the way, halfway out, all the way out. In halfway and out. Moving our fingertips to the right side. Repeat the breath. In all the way, halfway out, all the way out. In halfway and out. Now knuckles on the left. Left knuckles to the left bone and breathing in all the way, halfway out, all the way out. In halfway and out. Now left knuckles to the right bone. Repeat the breath. In all the way, halfway out, and all the way out. In halfway and now let go of your hands and do one cleansing deep breath in and stretch if you want to, because that makes me want to stretch.
Oh,
Move
yeah.
however you need to move, shake,
Oh,
coughing, yawning, burping, feeling hot, cold,
oh.
goosebumps. All are normal ways that your body releases feelings. And how do you feel after that simple breath?
Wow, incredibly relaxed.
Yes.
And I mean, that was literally what I was thinking when you said, like, put your mind to an intention. It was relax
Yeah.
and self-trust.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, really
Yeah.
powerful stuff. Thank you,
So
Tammy.
powerful. I'll lay in bed and my mind will still be swirling on what
Oh,
I just did or what I need to do tomorrow. And I'll do this and fall asleep so quickly.
yeah.
It gets us into the present moment, gets us
Which
out of
is all
our
we
head.
need, right?
That's all we need. I do it when you wake up. It helps you wake up. Do it throughout the day, before a stressful meeting, after a stressful meeting, with lunch. Just getting in the habit of just coming in. This is just a very intentional way to come in, soothe your nervous system. It automatically just regulates your nervous system, brings you back into present, out of that stress
Yeah.
response. It's so powerful and
Oh, that
simple.
was lovely and simple, which I love. Literally, you can do it anytime. You can be
Yeah,
at work and doing this, or just take a little break
exactly.
and do it.
Yeah, my whole point is, and why I teach people instead of being a practitioner first, I'm a teacher first, because I think we all need these tools. Like, I want to equip
Yeah.
people to help themselves. It's a,
Exactly, because nobody can help you. We're guides and we are
yeah,
helpers and healers, but ultimately it's
yeah.
in you.
Well, and having to schedule a meeting, schedule an appointment, pay money to get help is inaccessible for a lot of people. And a lot of the things we can help ourselves with if we have the right tools. And then when we need to go deeper, that's when we lean in and get help
Yeah.
from another person. But to get help from someone every single time just is not possible.
Yeah. Even if you have, like you say, the resources and everything, I
Yeah.
mean, you're here by yourself, right?
Yeah.
You need to be there for yourself, just like we
Yeah.
were saying, be your own
Yeah.
home.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if another woman is listening to this and she feels that she's struggling with being her own home
Mhm.
or with taking a leap, with taking, that big step, doing the thing, what would you want her to know?
I always say the same thing anytime this answers. This is what comes in. You are the most important person in your life. How does that show up for you in your words, your thoughts, and your actions, your calendar? That's
Oh,
the most
yeah.
important thing to do.
Yeah, that really hits home. You are the most important person in your life.
Mhm. Yeah. We hear,
And that,
right, put
yeah.
the oxygen mask on yourself first. We always
Yeah.
hear that. But what does that actually look like in day-to-day life for people? That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think that we're even often as women so disconnected just from the idea of it.
Right.
Like you say, in practice, you get the
Mhm.
concept, but when it comes to it, it's so second nature and it's actually
Mhm.
in your body's nature, not like biologically, but just because you've been conditioned to it for such a
Mhm.
long time that your nervous system defaults to that, the
Mhm.
people pleasing and pleasing others. So
Mhm.
it does take some grounding and
Mhm.
coming back home to yourself. And that
Mhm.
actually ties to something that I read that you mentioned that is, if this chapter of your life had a title, you said it would be Living from the Eye of the Storm,
That's
like the
right.
eye.
Yeah.
I would love to hear more about that.
Yeah.
What does that mean for you?
Yes. So this is a little bit of a story. Is that good?
I love stories.
Okay.
That's perfect.
So I've been studying energy healing. I found my first class in 2014. It's 26 now. So what is that? 12 years I've been learning energy healing work. And as you change your internal world, so too does your external world change. My relationships are healthy. My life is good. I mean, there's ups and downs. I have like third world problems though. Like access to things that, I'm
Mm.
life is good. I have beautiful friends in my life. Just everyday normal issues. I'm careful about where I put myself because I'm not drawn to be around people who are dramatic or negative or abusive. Like, I just don't, it's not a part of my life. So this last summer, I was staying with my friend with my dogs, and she went out for a walk with my dogs, and my dogs are free range. They free range. They have like a collar. I know where they're at, but they just get to run and they come back when called. And she was out walking with her friend and her son, and my dog went on her neighbor's property, and her neighbor shot my dog. And
No.
they heard shots fired. They went running, and then my dog came running after. She was shot in her back leg, and they come running back and telling me what's going on. And I'm like, stayed completely centered, completely present the whole time, assessing my dog, seeing if she's okay, collecting the story, what's happening. They're freaking out. It was a miracle. My dog did not have any internal damage. She got shot with a 22 rifle. He shot
Wow.
7 times and hit her
Oh,
once,
Jesus.
right? He was out to kill her in the middle
Wow.
of the day while people are
Oh my
walking out in
God.
front of his house on the road. So,
That's
I was able
intense.
to, drive and take her to the vet, no internal bleeding, no surgery needed. She still has a bullet in in her body now. And then I was still staying there with her while we were remodeling our house. And so it was like, he's right there. Like in the past, I had abusive relationships. I actually had PTSD from abusive relationships. None of that surfaced. I wasn't in fear. It was incredible. I'd never put myself into a situation to actually see how far I've come. And I knew I was safe. I wasn't mad at him either. I felt compassion that he would be in a state of mind that would make him want to
Yeah.
shoot somebody's dog. Like,
Mhm.
confused really is where I was. Like, where is he at to do that in front of his children? And so it was just like, wow. And I still walked the road with my dogs after that happened because I was at the center of the storm. And the one big thing that I really learned in that lesson is one thing that kept me going is that everything happens for a reason. So the world was hard in and out of it, dysfunctional relationships, and life was a struggle. And so it was like, wow, this must be happening for a reason. It gave me hope and it gave me a sense of peace. Like somehow I'm supported in this awful thing that's happening to me over and over and over again. But in that moment, I was like, that's bullshit. The things do not happen to us always for a reason. My dog didn't get shot for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah,
Life just
that's
happens.
yeah, life just happens, and I agree with the whole thing. Everything happens for a reason. I don't know. Life
Okay.
just happens, and I mean, there are no reasons sometimes.
Sometimes
Yeah.
there's a reason. Sometimes you can really learn from something. You can have hindsight and be
Yeah.
like, oh, that makes sense. My dog wasn't shot for a reason.
Yeah.
Just this. So, this is the thing that I stepped away from is that life happens. And if you can find your center, life is always going to be swirling around you. There's always something going on. But if I'm in my center, it doesn't matter. But in the past, I was like in the storm, getting the
Yeah.
shit kicked out of me and taking things personally. But then it's like, it wasn't about me. It wasn't even about my dog. Like, she didn't do anything wrong. She just wandered onto
Right.
his property. She wasn't attacking anybody. She's a lab. She's so
Oh
sweet,
my
you
God.
know?
Yeah, I bet. Wow,
So,
that's
yeah,
so
that's,
impressive, Tammy. I mean, that could have been like a really traumatic event.
I know. I think we were really blessed. I think the angels
Yeah.
were there to help. You know, she didn't get hurt. No one got
Mm.
like my friend or her son or her friend could have gotten shot that day.
That's so scary.
You know? So we're protected. I feel like I'm so grateful. And actually, that's where I landed was gratitude. I was so grateful that my dog was okay, that all of my friends were okay, that nothing bad happened. And I just stayed in the center of that, in the center of gratitude, and just never talked to the guy. Went through some court proceedings, never talked to him. And yeah, that is what it is like to be at the center of
That
the
is the meaning
eye
of
of your storm.
I.
It is
Yeah.
possible. And what I hear from people when I do work with them is like, wow, I feel so much lighter. I had no idea what I was carrying. And me too, I had no idea the capacity that I had grown until I was put into that situation. We normalize. We just normalize.
It's probably the best or favorite, metaphor, image that I'll carry with me. So thank you so
Mm,
much for that.
mm,
Life in the storm, because life is unpredictable, messy, you don't
yeah,
know.
yeah,
And there can be so much calm in the center of
yeah,
that storm
mhm,
if you're in yourself and grounded
yeah, yeah.
in
So
this
now
deep
I
way.
kind of go like, what can I learn from this moment? But not necessarily that it's happening for a reason, because if it's all
Yeah.
happening for a reason, there's a little bit of victimhood there, right? It's happening to me still,
Mm-hmm.
but for me, oh my gosh, that morning before this happened, that morning, one of my clients sent me a video, this really cute, quirky video from a personal development person that actually said that life is happening for you. What if you lived your life where you believed that was true? And then hours later, my dog got shot. And I was like, you know what? There's victimhood in that mentality too.
I actually
I'm
agree
not,
with that so much.
I'm
I
not.
mean, I understand where it comes from, but at the same time, I
Yeah.
think we have overcorrected in so many ways, and all of these positive
Yeah.
affirmations kind of take us into the overcorrecting side, and they don't help us because they take the
Yeah.
agency out of us.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Like, oh, I'm just at a whim. all these things are no, it actually
Yeah.
doesn't work that way. If you have that sovereignty and power, like you just said, and the whole mindset movement is the biggest thorn in my side because it's all mind over matter and the body
Mm.
keeps the score. The
Oof.
body
Yeah.
keeps the score. You can never win. It just will. When willpower runs out, it's all going to come flooding back online and it's going to be bigger and harder than it was before you tried to squash it.
Exactly. No matter how many nice affirmations you have on top of that,
No,
it's just
no.
really useless. I love that you
It's
say that. And
helpful, right? Mindset is helpful, but it doesn't solve your problems.
exactly. Yeah, it's like the tip of the iceberg, I always say.
It's not
And
healing
you have an
deep-seated
iceberg.
trauma.
I mean,
It's not healing deep-seated trauma. It's not changing
yeah.
those deep-seated beliefs. You're just
Yeah.
overriding them, pushing through with willpower. That's
Yeah.
exhausting and
It
ultimately
is.
will fail.
And it actually, I feel, pushes you even further into fight, flight, freeze
Yes,
mode.
I think so too.
It's really
I think so too.
counterintuitive. I really,
Yes.
really appreciate you naming that and
Yeah.
with such clarity, with such power. Thank you so much, Tammy.
Yeah.
Wow, I have loved so much this conversation. Are there any, before we toast, are there any last bits of wisdom that you would love to share?
To hear your words of wisdom because like you are an embodiment coach, so everything I just said, like feel into your body, let your body lead. What would you I mean, what's landing for you today?
Well, everything. And I love that you asked that because this is the first person that asked me this. It's like I'm always doing the questions here. And yeah, I think of the body, I see the body as the bridge between the life you don't want and all these struggles
Mm,
and maybe the past things, maybe intergenerationally, maybe just your
mhm,
own past and the life you really want. And I feel that we live in a culture where it's so mind based and so heady and so linear and so masculine in this way that, like you say, we totally not only override but completely ignore that
yeah,
bridge. We don't even cross it. We don't
yeah.
even walk through it. And then we
Mhm,
wonder, how is it that that because I hear this from women all the time, like, I've been in therapy so many years, I've done this and that, and yet, and there's always that and yet.
mhm,
And it's because, of course, you're not embodied, right? You're not in your
mhm.
body. And that just means being here right now in presence
Yeah,
with whatever's going on.
yeah.
And so everything you have shared feels really, really on point to me. And actually, if anything, I would just bring you back to this point you said about the universe versus your body.
Mm,
Because I feel like the more I am in my body,
mhm,
the more I get to feel this connection with
yeah,
life, like the energy feel around me. I don't know if also that's your experience. And yeah, I could never ever get there without me first.
yeah, yeah. Once you start to tap into it, right? Once you start to listen to all your voices, you'll be able to find your intuitive voice. But at the first, it's like being in a crowded space. You cannot hear it isolated because it's quieter and softer. And like your body, when you are
Yeah,
flooded or ignoring emotions, and then you get flooded and overwhelmed with emotions that are triggered and wrapped and connected to limiting beliefs or past events, that is not intuition in your body. It's hard to feel the
exactly.
intuition in your body. But when you start to itemize them and describe them and get granular in your words of how you're feeling, what you're thinking, and just allow it to be and touch into it, you will find it there too.
Yeah. And actually, I think this ties into another thing that we hear a lot. People say, speaking of positive affirmations, when people say, oh, you just need to feel your feelings. And I
Right.
go like, sure,
Mhm.
but,
And
if you're just there feeling your feelings and you have no clue what to do with them and
yeah,
you have no clue how to access other parts of yourself, you'll just collapse and stay in that frozen state.
yeah. It's not helpful to push people into overwhelm because sometimes it shuts them down or are really intense. That's not a healthy way to feel your feelings.
Exactly, which is how you were saying you bring in your observer, right? I call that
Yeah.
like my powerful self, like let's research and let's connect to my powerful self. And when she's online, I can
Yeah.
be sad, I can be pissed, I can be whatever it is that I
Yeah.
need to be, but I'm not collapsed.
Well, you're not your feelings.
Yeah.
Like we can observe and feel our feelings, but we are not our feelings, which also
Yeah.
gets really tangled, but it goes so much more than that. that we can't talk about in a podcast. It's like people need to work with a somatic coach or come and work with the energy healer, whatever their heart's drawn to, which makes sense for
Mm,
them. Because, like you said, we're a water molecule on the tip of an iceberg here.
exactly. Well, I feel I could keep talking with you
Yeah.
for hours
Yeah.
because I find you and your work fascinating and like so aligned. And
Right.
thank you so much, Tammy. I want to toast to you now
Yeah.
because you're incredible. And yeah, I just want to say cheers to you, Tammy.
Yeah.
Cheers to how good it got for you and to being the eye in the center of the storm. And thank you for teaching other women how to do that.
Yes. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to you. Thank you for this show and for sharing your powerful voice and for doing the incredible work you're also doing to help people realize their
Mm,
body's a bridge
the,
to all
yes,
of their
indeed.
heart's desires.
Exactly. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
And thank you for listening to Tell Me How Good It Got. And stay close for the next story because, yes, it really does get good.